Welcome to the Automation with Ansible AWX complete course brought to you by TechLetterz.net. In this comprehensive course, we will guide you through the dynamic world of Ansible and its powerful graphical user interface AWX. Get ready to elevate your automation skills and streamline your IT infrastructure with cutting-edge insights and hands-on experience with this course presented by TechLetterz.net. TechLetterz.net empowers businesses in embracing cutting-edge technologies through a comprehensive range of products and services. Our offerings are tailored to facilitate the assessment, learning, and mastery of the latest and most impactful technologies, ensuring that organizations stay at the forefront of innovation. TechLetterz.net offers an Ansible AWX solution in the form of a virtual machine, available on leading cloud platforms such as Google Cloud, Amazon AWS, and Microsoft Azure. In the initial segment of this course, we will guide you through the process of provisioning and utilizing this readily available TechLetterz Ansible AWX solution directly from the respective cloud marketplace. You will gain practical insights into deploying and leveraging the power of Ansible AWX in your chosen cloud environment. In the next section, we will delve into the core concepts of Ansible, unraveling how it seamlessly converts ordinary tasks into automated workflows. We will explore the inner workings of Ansible, comprehending its key components and examining practical use cases to gain a thorough understanding of its functionality. Moving next, we will dive into the features and capabilities of AWX, the open source upstream project for Ansible Tower. Through this, we will uncover its integral role in efficiently managing automation at scale. Additionally, we will conduct a comparative analysis to discern the distinctions between Ansible Tower and AWX, providing a nuanced understanding of their respective functionalities. In the next section, we will explore the basics of Ansible. We will take a closer look at the capabilities of this robust automation tool, navigating through its default tool system like Ansible Inventory, Ansible Playbook, Ansible Doc, Ansible Galaxy, and more. I will provide you with clear and practical tips on how to use them effectively. Furthermore, we will uncover the fundamental elements of Ansible, such as playbooks, inventory management, and ad hoc commands. Additionally, you will learn how to personalize your Ansible environment by crafting configuration files to suit your specific requirements. It's all about building a solid foundation for your automation journey. We will also get hands-on with Ansible by running some practical demonstrations using the Ansible command line interface CLI. Once we have established a solid understanding of Ansible basics and gained hands-on experience with the Ansible CLI, our next step is to delve into AWX. We will take a quick tour of the AWX user interface, exploring all its options to familiarize ourselves with its functionalities. Following that, we will apply our knowledge by running the same infrastructure task we covered using Ansible CLI, but this time utilizing the AWX GUI. By getting hands-on with both the command line and graphical interfaces, you will build a solid understanding of Ansible and AWX. This practical experience ensures you are well equipped in both realms. Enroll now in this free Automation with Ansible AWX complete course by TechLetterz.net, and let's embark on a journey to automate, streamline, and optimize your IT infrastructure. Hello and welcome to another video in our Automation with Ansible AWX series presented by TechLetterz.net. TechLetterz.net offers a pre-configured virtual machine solution for Ansible with AWX readily available on top cloud platforms, including Google Cloud, Amazon Web Services, AWS, and Microsoft Azure. Additionally, this solution receives regular updates and patches, ensuring that you have easy access to the latest version whenever you deploy it. In today's video, we are going to guide you through the process of provisioning and establishing a connection with the Ansible AWX virtual machine solution provided by TechLetterz.net on Microsoft Azure. Please note that if you wish to provision this VM on the Google Cloud platform or on AWS Cloud, you can skip ahead to the respective video. So without further ado, let's jump right into the world of Ansible AWX automation. Open Ansible AWX alternative to Ansible Tower VM listing offered by TechLetterz.net on Azure Marketplace. To do so, go to the TechLetterz.net website, navigate to Products and Support page, use the search feature on the website and search for Ansible. Look for the option labeled Ansible Tower and click on it. You can read the offer overview on this page. Scroll up, you should find a button that says Launch Now on Azure. Click on this button to initiate the provisioning process. Here on Azure Marketplace, you can read the details of offer. Scroll up and navigate to Plans and Pricing tab to see the available plan and pricing of the offer. On this page, you can see the publishers recommended machine types. You can provision the instance on these recommended sizes, or you can choose as per your requirement. Click on Get It Now button when you are ready to deploy. It will ask you to log in. Log in with your credentials and click on Continue button here. You will be redirected to this page. On this page, click on Create. This is Offers configuration page. Select a resource group for your virtual machine. You can also create a new group from here. Give a name to your virtual machine. Select a region where you want to launch the VM, such as East US. Please note that if you see this image is not compatible with selected security type, error message below the image name as shown here. To fix these errors, change the security type to standard from security dropdown. Optionally, change the number of cores and amount of memory. You can deploy the VM with higher configuration as per your need. I'm using standard B2S size for this demo. Select the authentication type as password. Enter username as Ubuntu and password of your choice. Click on Next. It will take you to this configuration. Various options are given here. Select as per your need. I'm going with standard HDD. You can also check this option to delete the disk when the VM instance is deleted. Click on Next button. Now we are on network configuration page. Optionally change the network and subnetwork names. Be sure that whichever network you specify has port 22 for SSH, 3389 for RDP, and 80 for HTTP exposed. Please note that this offer comes with the pre-configured network rule. You can check them from here. Click on Next. Optionally go to the Management, Advanced, and Tax tab for any advanced settings you want for this VM. Click on Review plus Create. It will run a validation. Click on Create when the validation passed successfully. Virtual machine will begin deploying. A summary page displays. Wait till this process is complete. When the virtual machine is successfully created, click on Go to Resource link to go to the resource page. It will open an overview page of virtual machine. You can see all these details of the VM here, like region, subscription ID, IP address, publisher's name, plan ID, disk, etc. Now let's see how to connect to this VM on various ports. This VM comes with 3 ports open: SSH port to connect to the Ubuntu terminal, RDP port to access the desktop environment of the VM, and HTTP port to access the Ansible AWX GUI. We already set the password for the Ubuntu user during the VM creation, but for any reason you forgot the password or you want to change the password, you can do it from here. From left pane, go to Password Reset option. Select the Update Password option from here. Provide Ubuntu as username. Provide the password and click on Reset. To connect to this instance through PuTTY, copy the IPv4 public IP address from here. Note, if you don't have PuTTY installed on your system, then please install it as per your OS configuration. Open PuTTY, paste the IP address and click Connect. Log in with Ubuntu user and password. This is how you can connect to the Ubuntu terminal. You can connect to VM's desktop environment from any local Windows machine using RDP protocol or a local Linux machine using Remina. To connect using RDP via Windows machine, local Windows machine, go to Start menu. In the search box, type and select Remote Desktop Connection. In the Remote Desktop Connection wizard, copy the public IP address and click Connect. Accept the warning message here. This will connect you to the VM's desktop environment. Log in with Ubuntu user and the password set to authenticate. Click OK. Now you are connected to out-of-the-box Ansible AWX alternative to Ansible Tower environment via Windows machine. You can access the AWX setup files by going to Home, Ubuntu, Setup Directory. Here we have AWX setup files. Till now we saw SSH and RDP connectivity. Now let's see how to access the Ansible AWX graphical user interface via browser. For that, let's go to the SSH terminal first, or you can open the terminal from RDP window as well. Ansible AWX is provided as the Docker installation. We can check the status of running containers by entering sudo docker ps-a command in the terminal. You can see 3 containers are listed which are up and running. AWX generates the default password for admin user during the setup installation. To get the default password, we will run this command here: sudo docker logs tools_AWX_1, which is the AWX container name, pipe grep admin password. Now we have the AWX admin password with us. To access the AWS GUI, copy the public IP address of the VM from VM's details page, open new browser window and paste the public IP. Hit enter. It will show you AWX login screen. Login with the admin user. Copy paste the admin user password from the terminal from here and log in. Here we have the AWX user interface. User interface makes it easier to manage and automate tasks using Ansible playbooks and other options. As we all know that Ansible itself is a command line tool. So with AWX GUI, you can manage and automate tasks easily. You can see all these options in the left pane like projects, inventories, credentials, host, access views, schedule, etc. We will have a separate video where we will walk you through all these options in detail. You must change the default password for admin user as security measures. To change the admin password, in left pane, click on users, click on admin user, click on edit and enter the new password and save the changes. Make a note of this password. If you lost it, then it will be difficult to log into the interface. This is how you can provision and use the latest Ansible AWX offering from Azure Marketplace. If for any reason the Ansible AWX web interface is not accessible, you can troubleshoot by checking the status of the containers and restarting it. You can do this by running the sudo docker ps-a command in the terminal. This command will list all containers along with their status and other relevant information. If the output shows containers in exited state, then please restart the containers by using this command sudo docker start containers name. You can copy paste the containers name from the output of the previous command. Wait for a few seconds and let the containers start completely. Now access the Ansible AWX web interface from the browser. This is how you can troubleshoot the containers issue. That's it for today's video. Thank you for joining. Welcome to another video automation with Ansible AWX series by TechLatest.net. TechLatest.net offers a pre-configured virtual machine solution for Ansible with AWX readily available on top cloud platforms including Google Cloud, Amazon Web Services, AWS, and Microsoft Azure. Additionally, this solution receives regular updates and patches, ensuring that you have easy access to the latest version whenever you deploy it. In today's video, we will take you through the process of provisioning and connecting to the Ansible AWX virtual machine solution offered by TechLatest.net on Amazon Web Services AWS. Please note that if you wish to provision this VM on the Google Cloud platform or on Azure Cloud, you can skip ahead to the respective video. Let's begin with this video. Open Ansible AWX open source Ansible Tower alternative VM listing on AWS Marketplace. To do so, go to the TechLatest.net website, navigate to the products and support page, use the search feature on the website and search for Ansible. Look for the option labeled Ansible AWX and click on it. You can read the offer overview on this page. Scroll up. You should find a button that says Launch Now on AWS. Click on this button to initiate the provisioning process. Scroll down to check more details like pricing, operating system, vendor recommended machine types, etc. You can check usage instructions from here. Once you are ready, click on Continue to Subscribe button on top right corner. Log in with your credentials if you are not already logged in. It will ask you to subscribe to the product. As I'm already subscribed to the product, I'm getting the next screen, which is a default annual contract page. But if you are provisioning it first time, it will ask you to subscribe the product. On this annual contract page, you can see all the details to provision this VM on annual basis. If you prefer not to provision the solution with an annual contract, you can skip this step by not selecting any values from the drop-down menus, as demonstrated here. If you choose not to configure an annual contract, the instance will be provisioned on an hourly basis. Make sure the total contract price is 0 and then click on Continue to Configuration button on top right corner. On the next page, you will find detailed information about the pricing options including hourly, monthly and annual rates. Select a region where you want to launch the VM such as US East and Virginia. Click on Continue to Launch button. Choose Action option. Comes with 3 values. You can launch it through EC2 or from website or copy to service catalog. Let's choose Launch from website. Optionally change the EC2 instance type. This defaults to T2 medium instance type, which have 2 virtual CPUs and 4 GB RAM. You can change the instance type to higher configuration from here as per your need. Next, we have VPC settings. Optionally change the network name and subnetwork names or go with the default one. Next, select the security group. Be sure that whichever security group you specify have ports 22 for SSH, 3389 for RDP, and 80 for HTTP exposed. Or you can create a new security group with the pre-configured ports. To do so, click on Create New based on seller settings. Give a name and description to the security group and save the changes. Be sure to download the key pair which is available by default, or you can create the new key pair and download it. When you click on Create New Key Pair in EC2, it will take you to the AWS console on key pair page. Click on Create Key Pair from top right corner. Once you successfully create the new key pair in the AWS console, come back to the AWS Marketplace page here. Refresh the drop-down using this refresh button. The newly created key will be available in the drop-down. When you are ready, click on Launch. Ansible AWX open source Ansible Tower alternative will begin deploying. A summary page displays. To see this instance on EC2 console, click on EC2 console link here. Wait for 1 to 2 minutes to get the instance ready. Once your instance is in running state, you are good to go. You can give a name to the instance by clicking here and entering the name. When you tick this checkbox, it will show you all the details about the instance. To connect to this instance through PuTTY, copy the IPv4 public IP address from here. Open PuTTY, paste the IP address and browse your private key you downloaded while deploying the VM. To browse the private key, from left pane, select SSH, then go to Auth, select Credentials, then browse your private key here, click on Open. In SSH terminal, log in with Ubuntu user. Once connected, change the password for Ubuntu user by running sudo passwd password Ubuntu command. Now the password for Ubuntu user is set. You can connect to the VM's desktop environment from any local Windows machine using RDP protocol or Linux machine using Remina. From your local Windows machine, go to Start menu. In the search box, type and select Remote Desktop Connection. In the Remote Desktop Connection wizard, paste the public IP address of the VM and click Connect. Accept the warning message here. This will connect you to the VM's desktop environment. Log in with Ubuntu user and the password set in the terminal to authenticate. Click OK. Now you are connected to out-of-the-box Ansible AWX open source Ansible Tower alternative environment via Windows machine. You can access the AWX setup files by going to Home Ubuntu Setup Directory. Here we have AWX setup files. Till now we saw SSH and RDP connectivity. Now let's see how to access the Ansible AWX graphical user interface via browser. For that, let's go to the SSH terminal first, or you can open the terminal from RDP window as well. Ansible AWX is provided as a Docker installation. We can check the status of running containers by entering sudo docker ps-a command in the terminal. You can see 3 containers are listed which are up and running. AWX generates the default password for admin user during the setup installation. To get the default password, we will run this command here, sudo docker logs tools underscore AWX underscore 1, which is the AWX container name, pipe grep admin password. Now we have the AWX admin password with us. To access the AWX GUI, copy the public IP address of the VM from the VM's detail page. Now open new browser window and paste the public IP. Hit enter. It will show you AWX login screen. Log in with the admin user. Copy paste the admin user password from the terminal from here and log in. Here we have the AWX user interface. User interface makes it easier to manage and automate tasks using Ansible playbooks and other options. As we all know that Ansible itself is a command line tool. So with AWX GUI, you can manage and automate tasks easily. You can see all these options in the left pane like projects, inventories, etc. We will have a separate video where we will walk you through all these options in detail. You must change the default password for admin user as security measures. To change the admin password, in left pane, click on Users. Click on Admin User. Click on Edit and enter the new password. Save the changes. Make a note of this password. If you lost it, then it will be difficult to log into the interface. This is how you can provision and use the tech latest Ansible AWX offering from AWS Marketplace, Amazon Marketplace. If for any reason the Ansible AWX web interface is not accessible, you can troubleshoot by checking the status of the containers and restarting it. You can do this by running this sudo docker ps-a command in the terminal. This command will list all the containers along with their status and other relevant information. If the output shows containers in the exited state, like here, then please restart the containers by using this command sudo docker start containers name. You can copy paste the containers name from the output of previous command. Wait for a few seconds. Now access the Ansible AWX web interface from the browser. That's wrap up today's video. Thank you for joining today. Hello and welcome to this video of Automation with Ansible AWX video series brought to you by techlatest.net. Techlatest.net offers a pre-configured virtual machine solution for Ansible with AWX readily available on top cloud platforms including Google Cloud, Amazon Web Services, AWS, and Microsoft Azure. Additionally, this solution receives regular updates and patches, ensuring that you have easy access to the latest version whenever you deploy it. Today in this video, we are going to show you how to provision and connect to Ansible AWX, the open source alternative to Ansible Tower VM offering provided by techlatest.net on Google Cloud Platform GCP. If you wish to provision this VM on the Amazon Cloud Platform or on Azure Cloud, you can skip ahead to the respective video. So let's get started. Open techlatest Ansible AWX listing on GCP Marketplace. To do so, go to techlatest.net website, navigate to Products and Support page, search for Ansible. Click on Ansible AWX. On this Ansible AWX overview page, click Launch Now on GCP button. It will take you to the product listing page on GCP Marketplace. You can find all the details here. Just scroll down and read the details, like what is the operating system used for this offer, default machine type, pricing, etc. To deploy this solution, click on this Get Started button here. It will take you to the login page if you are not logged in already. As I am already logged in, it's taking me to the agreement page. On this page, check and confirm the project in which you want to deploy this solution. If you want to change the project, you can do it from here. Accept the terms and agreement and click on Agree button. It will show you the successful pop-up message. Here, click on the Deploy button. It will take you to the VM's configuration page. On this page, give a name to your deployment, your virtual machine. Select a zone where you want to launch the VM, such as US East 1. You can select different machine types from here. Optionally change the number of cores and amount of memory. This VM comes with one virtual CPU and 3.75 GB RAM by default. Optionally increase the boot disk size if you want. Also you can change its type. The default comes with the standard persistent disk type with 20 GB size. Optionally change the network name and subnetwork. Be sure that whichever network you specify has ports 22 for SSH connection, 33894 for RDP, and 80 for HTTP open. Provide the IP address or IP range. I am giving here 0.0.0.0/0. This IP range contains all the possible IP addresses. Click deploy when you are ready. Ansible AWX open source Ansible Tower alternative will begin deploying. Wait for a few seconds here. A summary page displays when the compute engine is successfully deployed. Click on the instance link to go to the instance page. This is instance overview page. Here you can find all the information about the instance, like machine type, disk, public and private IP addresses, etc. From this top menu, you can find various options like stop and start the instance. If you want to make any changes in the instance configuration, you can stop the VM from here. Once it is stopped, click on edit option. The page will show in edit mode. Now you can make the changes. For example, if you want to change the machine type or want to enable HTTPS, you can do it in edit mode. Here we have SSH option to connect to the VM. Click on it. This will open SSH window in a browser. Go to Ubuntu user using sudo su ubuntu command. Navigate to home directory with cd/home/ubuntu. Run sudo password ubuntu command to set the password for Ubuntu user. This VM comes with 3 ports open. You can SSH to the VM like this here. You can also access the VM's GUI environment using RDP connection from Windows machine and using Remina from the Linux machine. And we can access the AWX user interface via browser on port 80. You will need AWX admin user password to access this UI. So we already saw the SSH connectivity. Now let's go to the RDP. To connect using RDP via Windows machine, first note the external IP of the VM from VM's details page from here. Then from your local Windows machine, go to Start menu. In the search box, type and select Remote Desktop Connection. In the Remote Desktop Connection wizard, copy the external IP and click Connect. Accept it. This will connect you to the VM's desktop environment. To authenticate, provide Ubuntu as the user ID and the password set before in the terminal for Ubuntu user. Click OK. Now you are connected to out of the box your own Ansible AWX VM's desktop environment via Windows machine. You can access the AWX setup files by going to Home, Ubuntu, Setup Directory. Here we have AWX setup files. Now let's see how to access the Ansible AWX graphical user interface via browser. For that, let's go to the SSH terminal first. Ansible AWX is provided as the Docker installation. We can check the status of running containers by entering sudo docker ps-a command in the terminal. You can see these 3 containers are listed which are up and running. AWX generates the default password for admin user during the setup installation. To get the default password, we will run this command here, sudo docker logs tools underscore AWX underscore 1, which is the AWX container name, pipe grep admin password. Now we have the AWX admin password with us. To access the AWX GUI, copy the public IP address of the VM from VM's details page, open new browser window and paste the public IP. Hit enter. It will show you AWX login screen. Provide the admin in username box and copy paste the admin user password from the terminal from here and log in. Here we have the AWX user interface. User interface makes it easier to manage and automate tasks using Ansible playbooks and other options, as we all know that Ansible itself is a command line tool. So with AWX GUI, you can manage and automate tasks easily. You can see all these options in the left pane like projects, inventories, etc. We will have a separate video where we will walk you through all these options in detail. You must change the default password for admin user as security measures. To change the admin password, in left pane, click on users, click on admin user, click on edit and enter the new password and save the changes. Make a note of this password. If you lost it, then it will be difficult to log into the interface. Suppose for any reason, if Ansible AWX web interface is not coming, then please check the container status by running sudo docker ps-a command in the terminal. If the output shows containers in exited state, then please restart the containers by using this command. Sudo docker start containers name. Wait for a few seconds. Now access the Ansible AWX web interface from browser. This is how you can provision and use the latest Ansible AWX offering from GCP Marketplace. Thank you for joining. Hello and welcome. In this video, we will discuss the high-level overview of Ansible. By the end of this video, you will have a basic understanding of what is Ansible. Ansible is designed around some basic principles. We will see these principles here. How Ansible works. There are different components of Ansible. We will briefly see them here and we'll cover them in detail in our upcoming videos. After this, we will discuss the use cases and what you can achieve with the Ansible automation. So let's get started. Ansible is a suite of software tools that enables infrastructure as code. It is open source and this suite includes software provisioning, configuration management, and application deployment functionality. Originally written by Michael Dehan and acquired by Red Hat in 2015, Ansible is designed to configure both Unix-like systems and Microsoft Windows. Ansible is a tool that helps you automate tasks on your computers or servers. It's like having a digital assistant that follows your instructions to set up, configure, or manage systems without you having to do everything manually, making it easier to manage and maintain your computer systems. As automation technology, Ansible is designed around some basic principles. That it is agentless. And what do I mean by agentless is, you don't need to install any software or agents on the target systems you want to manage. Instead, Ansible relies on SSH for Unix Linux system with and WinRM for Windows systems to communicate and execute tasks remotely. It works by using a client-server architecture and a push-based model to automate tasks on remote machines. Ansible is known for its simplicity and ease of use. The syntax is straightforward and accessible to both beginners and experienced users. The learning curve is relatively shallow, allowing teams to quickly adapt and integrate Ansible into their workflows. Scalability and flexibility. Easily and quickly scale the systems you automate through a modular design that supports a large range of operating systems, cloud platforms, and network devices. One important concept in Ansible is idempotency. Ansible ensures that if you run a playbook multiple times, it will have the same result as running it once. This means that Ansible checks the current state of the system and only makes changes if they are necessary. This simple principles makes the Ansible easy to understand and implement. Let's understand how it works using a simple explanation. Imagine you have 3 computers and you want to make sure they all have the same software installed and configured in the same way. Without Ansible, you would have to log into each computer individually and do the same task over and over again. With Ansible, you can create a set of instructions in the context of Ansible. This file is called playbook and tell Ansible to run those instructions on all 3 computers simultaneously. We provide the list of hosts in the inventory file. With 3 computers, the job is easy to do manually as well. But imagine if you have 100 computers to run the same configuration. With Ansible, you can configure all 100 computers consistently and efficiently. There are different artifacts of Ansible. Together, they help in accomplishing the automation task. A basic Ansible environment has 3 main components. The very first is control node. Ansible requires a control node, which is typically your own computer. On this control node, you have Ansible installed and you run Ansible commands and playbooks from here. Second is managed node, a remote system or host that Ansible controls. Inventory. Ansible starts with an inventory file or script where you list all the machines you want to manage. This file contains information like IP addresses, host names, and SSH secure shell keys to access these machines. Apart from these 3 basic components, Ansible have other useful artifacts as well. Playbooks. You create playbooks, which are files written in a human-readable language called YAML. Playbooks contains the instructions for tasks you want to perform on the remote machines. This task can range from simple things like copying files to complex configurations and software installations. Playbooks are a very important component of Ansible. However, it is not the basic one, because you can run the task without playbooks also using ad hoc commands. We will discuss them in upcoming videos. Next components we have is modules. Ansible uses modules to perform specific tasks on target systems. Ansible includes a vast library of built-in modules for tasks like package installation, file management, and service control. Users can also create custom modules to extend Ansible's functionality. Plugins. Code written in Python which runs on the control machine to enhance the functionality of Ansible. Roles. Roles let you automatically load relative VARs, files, tasks, handlers, and other Ansible artifacts based on a known file structure. After you group your content in roles, you can easily reuse them and share them with other users. Ad hoc commands. In addition to playbooks, Ansible allows you to run ad hoc commands from the command line, making it easy to perform quick tasks on remote systems without writing a full playbook. Reporting. Ansible provides feedback on the status of each task, allowing you to see what has been executed successfully and if there were any errors. Let's see a simplified example of an Ansible playbook in YAML format. In this example, the playbook is named Install Apache on Web Servers. It specifies that it should run on the group of servers labeled as web servers. The playbook contains one task which uses Ansible's apt module to install the Apache web server, Apache 2, if it is not already installed. When you run this playbook with Ansible, it will connect to all the servers in the web servers group and ensure that Apache is installed. When you run an Ansible playbook or an ad hoc command from the control node, Ansible takes care of connecting to the remote machines, copying the necessary files, and executing the task defined in the playbook. Now let's see the use cases of what you can do with Ansible. Software installation. Let's say you want to install a web server like Apache on multiple servers. With Ansible, you can write a playbook that specifies which servers need Apache installed, and Ansible will do it for you. Configuration management. You can ensure that specific configuration files, for example, for a database server, are the same on all machines. If you need to change a setting, Ansible can make that change on all systems at once. Network automation. You can use Ansible commands, playbooks, and modules to configure hubs, switches, routers, bridges, and other network devices. But network modules are different from Linux, Unix, and Windows modules, and you must understand some network-specific concepts to succeed. If you need to create or delete user accounts across multiple servers, Ansible can help you to do this consistently and efficiently. Updates and upgrades. Ansible can handle system updates or software upgrades on all your servers, ensuring they stay up to date without manual intervention. Perform zero downtime rolling updates. You can perform updates to your systems with zero downtime. You can automate regular backups of your data or configurations, making sure that critical information is safe and accessible when needed. In summary, Ansible works by defining the desired state of your infrastructure in playbooks, then using SSH to remotely connect to your servers and make them match that desired state. It's a powerful automation tool that simplifies configuration management and application deployment in a consistent and efficient way. Ansible has a large and active community, which means you can find plenty of pre-written playbooks and rules to help with common automation tasks. Ansible Galaxy is a repository for sharing and discovering Ansible roles. In essence, Ansible provides a user-friendly and efficient way to automate the provisioning, configuration, and management of IT infrastructure and applications, making it a popular choice for DevOps, system administrators, and anyone looking to streamline repetitive tasks in their IT environment. In the next video, we will discuss about Ansible AWX, which provides a graphical user interface, REST API, and task engine for Ansible. Thank you for watching. Welcome to another video of automation with Ansible AWX by TechLetterz.net video series. In our previous video, we discussed about Ansible, how it works, what are its features and all. In this video, we will have a high-level introduction to Ansible AWX, a powerful automation tool that is taking the world of DevOps by storm. Today, we will explore the benefits of Ansible AWX, its open source nature, and how it compares to its counterpart, Ansible Tower. So let's dive in. First, let's understand what AWX is and why we need it. Ansible has become one of the leading tools for IT in infrastructure provisioning and deployment. However, Ansible itself is primarily a command line tool for automating IT tasks and configurations, and it does not come with a graphical user interface GUI by default. It is typically used in a terminal or through scripts. However, AWX is a separate project that provides a graphical user interface, REST API, and task engine for Ansible. It is open source upstream project of the Ansible Tower. Ansible Tower is a full-blown commercial product that is supported by Red Hat and offers what you would expect from a pay-for-product, providing tools or other automation services including support. AWX is a web-based interface that sits on top of Ansible and makes it easier to manage and automate tasks using Ansible playbooks. So while Ansible itself is a command line based, AWX gives you a GUI to interact with Ansible and create and manage automation workflows visually. AWX can be seen as a way to add a GUI layer to Ansible to make it more accessible to a wider range of users, including those who are not comfortable with command line interfaces. Now let's explore some of the key benefits of Ansible AWX. Using Ansible with AWX can offer several advantages of managing and automating IT tasks, especially in a team or enterprise environment. Ansible AWX is completely open source, which means it's free to use and can be customized to suit your specific needs. This open nature encourages collaboration and vibrant community. No expensive enterprise cost. One of the standout advantages of Ansible AWX is that it eliminates the expensive licensing fees associated with its enterprise counterpart, Ansible Tower. This makes it an excellent choice for organizations looking to save on cost. AWX provides a user-friendly web interface that simplifies the management of Ansible playbooks and job templates, making it accessible to users of all skill levels. Role-based access control, RBAC. AWX offers fine-grained access control and permissions, allowing you to define who can perform specific actions within the system, like admin, execute, or read-only access, enhancing security and compliance. This is crucial for managing access in a team or organization. Job scheduling. AWX allows you to schedule Ansible jobs to run at specific times or intervals. This is useful for automatic routine tasks, backups, or updates without manual intervention. Auditing and logging. AWX provides detailed logs and audit trails of all actions taken through the interface. This helps in tracking changes, troubleshooting issues, and maintaining security. With AWX, you can manage all your Ansible playbooks and configurations in one central location, making it easier to organize and maintain automation workflows. AWX can integrate with version control systems like Git, enabling you to store Ansible playbooks in repositories, track changes, and collaborate with team members more effectively. Now let's briefly compare Ansible AWX to its counterpart Ansible Tower. Ansible AWX is open source with no licensing cost, while Ansible Tower is a commercial offering with associated licensing cost. AWX is suitable for smaller teams and organizations looking for a cost-effective solution, whereas Ansible Tower is designed for enterprises with larger budgets. AWX has a thriving open source community, which can lead to more frequent updates and community-driven support, while Ansible Tower provides commercial support and advanced features for enterprise clients. In conclusion, Ansible AWX is a compelling open source alternative to Ansible Tower. It offers all the essential automation features with no expensive licensing fees, making it an excellent choice for cost-conscious organizations. So whether you are a small startup or a large enterprise, Ansible AWX can streamline your automation tasks without breaking the bank. And with its active open source community, it's only getting better. In our upcoming videos of this series, we will provide a comprehensive AWX GUI walkthrough and discuss all of its features in detail. Thank you for joining today. Hello and welcome to this video from the video series Automation with Ansible AWX presented by TechLatest.net. At the time of recording this video, the TechLatest Ansible AWX virtual machine solution includes AWX running on the HTTP protocol. Users can access the AWX user interface in a web browser through port 80. In this video, we will walk you through the steps to enable HTTPS for the Ansible AWX user interface within the TechLatest Ansible AWX offering. Please note that this virtual machine solution receives regular updates, so future releases may come with HTTPS enabled by default. In such cases, you won't need to follow these steps. So let's begin with our video. Here my TechLatest VM is up and running and I can access AWX interface in browser. You can see this interface is running on HTTP. If I try to access this using the HTTPS protocol, I'm getting this error here. So let's make changes to our configuration to access this interface using HTTPS. I'm here in VM's terminal connected via SSH. AWX is bundled in a container in this VM. We can check its status by running sudo docker ps-a command in the terminal. You can see these three containers are up and running. This one tools underscore AWX underscore one is the AWX container and remaining are database containers. To make the configuration changes, we will stop the containers first. To do so, run sudo docker stop followed by container's name. We can copy the names from our above command. We have AWX setup files available in the setup folder inside Ubuntu home directory. So navigate to /home/ubuntu/setup and then AWX directory. Switch to root user using sudo su. From here navigate to tools docker compose and then sources directory. Open nginx.conf file in VI editor. You go to line number 56, which says listen 8043 default underscore server, and add SSL at the end like this. Scroll down and uncomment these two lines, line number 62 and 63. These lines provide the SSL certificate and key from this location /etc/nginx. The nginx certificate and key are already there. This location is inside the Docker container. I will show you that in a moment. The final page should look like this. SSL added here and these two lines uncommented. Save the file by clicking skip key and then typing :wq. Let's check the container status one more time with sudo docker ps-a command. All the containers are in exited state. Once the config file is updated, restart the Docker container using sudo docker start container's name. Now suppose for any reason you get the error after running docker restart command, then just restart your virtual machine. The containers will restart automatically. Wait for few seconds here. Let the containers restart completely. Now let's access the AWX web console over HTTPS using the URL https:// public IP of the VM :80. Make sure you type :80 after the address. The console should now be accessible via HTTPS. You will get certificate warning in a browser while accessing the web UI, which you need to accept to proceed with login. Click on Advanced and accept it. Now the UI is accessible via HTTPS. Log in with admin user and password. And here we have AWX interface. Now let's see how to enable HTTPS with self-signed SSL certificate or CA-signed certificate. I'm back in the terminal. Go to Home, Ubuntu Setup Directory and run the ls command. We only have AWX folder here. Run this command here to generate the self-signed certificate and key using OpenSSL. Make sure to give the same names as shown in this command. Make sure to use -trustout in the command to create the trusted certificate. Otherwise, the AWX container may not start and could generate an error due to an untrusted certificate. It will ask you some basic questions like country code, state code, department, etc. Provide all the details. Once done, it will generate your keys in this current directory. Run ls. Here we have our certificate and key ready. If you already have CS and certificate and key, rename it to nginx.crt and nginx.key and upload them in this directory. On GCP, you have upload option available from the terminal. On Azure and AWS, you can use WinSCP for Windows machine or similar tool on Linux machine to copy the files on the virtual machine. Now once you have your files ready in this directory, connect to container and take the backup of existing certificate and key which are already there. To do so, run sudo docker execute -it tools_awx_1, which is container name /bin/bash. Please note that the containers must be in running status. If you are unable to get inside the container and it shows that no containers are running error message, then in that case simply start the containers using sudo docker start followed by containers name. I'm inside the container. Go to etc nginx directory. Here we have both the files. Run move nginx.crt to nginx_backup.crt and move nginx.key to nginx_backup.key. ls, we have our backup ready. Now exit the container using exit command. Go to our setup directory. Stop the containers using sudo docker stop containers name. Copy these two files to containers using docker copy command as I am running here. Sudo docker copy certificate file, then container name : nginx directory. Now both the files copied in the container. We also need to make the changes in configuration file. Switch to root user, open the nginx.conf file using VI editor available at this location. We already made the changes to this file in our first part of this video, but I just wanted to show you again. On line 56, we should have SSL added, and line 62 and 63 should be uncommented, like this here. Now we are good to go. Save this file. Restart the containers using sudo docker start containers name. Or if you are encountering any issues with this command, then reboot the VM. Now access the AWX interface in your favorite browser using https:// public IP of the VM :80. Accept the warning message. Log in with admin user and password. Now suppose instead of this :80 here in the URL, you want to access the AWX using port 443. In that case, you need to make two changes. First change we need to make in purport script. We have one purport script running on the VM which restarts the containers and redirect the connection to the port 80. We need to update that purport script to use the port 443 instead of 80. For that, go to terminal and open this Ansible purport script located at var lib cloud scripts purport directory using VI editor. On this line here, change the port 80 to 443. Here, save the changes. Second thing you need to do is open port 443 for your VM. For that, go to your VM's details page and locate the networking option and update the firewall rule to allow port 443. On GCP, you can simply stop the VM, click on edit option, and under the networking section, you can check the HTTPS checkbox. On AWS, you need to go to the security group associated to your VM and add the HTTPS rule. On Azure, go to networking option available in left pane on VM's details page. Once you have port 443 open for your virtual machine, reboot the VM. Please wait for a few minutes to allow the containers to start completely. After a few minutes, access the AWX in the browser using https://IP address of the VM. This time, no need of :80 after the IP address. Accept the warning message, log in with admin user. That's it for today's video. In this video, we have explored how to enable HTTPS for Ansible AWX. We have covered all three scenarios, which include using the default certificate and key available on this VM, or creating an authorized self-signed certificate, or utilizing an authorized CA-signed certificate. Thank you for joining today. TechLetters.net provides the Ansible AWX offer in the form of a virtual machine solution, leading platforms including Google Cloud, Amazon Web Services, AWS, and Microsoft Azure. To ensure you have the best learning experience and can follow the course content seamlessly, we highly recommend provisioning the pre-configured Ansible AWX virtual machine solution available on this cloud marketplaces. This VM environment has been tailored to perfectly align with the course material and exercises. Here how to get started. Go to www.techletters.net/AWX. Click the provided cloud provider marketplace link. Follow the on-screen instructions to launch the VM. To make the provisioning of VM easy for you, we have step-by-step guides which shows all the steps and details. All the links are in the description. Don't miss out on the benefits of this tailored learning environment. Hello and welcome to another video of automation with Ansible AWX video series brought to you by TechLetters.net. In our last video, we provided a high-level overview of Ansible and its companion tool AWX. We explored the advantages of utilizing AWX in your automation workflows compared to using Ansible alone. In this video, we will dive into the core concepts of Ansible. We will begin by exploring Ansible command line interface and its built-in tools, which are available out of the box on TechLetters Ansible AWX VM. We will take a closer look at the locations of these tools and provide a brief overview of each one. It's worth mentioning that with this virtual machine, we also have AWX pre-configured and ready to use right from the start. However, we will explore AWX in detail in our upcoming videos. For now, let's get started with this video. Here I have my TechLetters Ansible AWX virtual machine up and running, and I am connected to the VM via SSH. To see what are the other command line interface tools which got installed along with the Ansible, please run which Ansible command first. The output shows the executable location. Navigate to this location using cd/usr/bin. Run ls ansi * to see all the Ansible tools installed. Here is the list of core components and tools. So the first tool in the list we have is Ansible Core. This is a core Ansible tool that provides the command line interface and automation engine. When you install Ansible, you get the Ansible CLI, which is used to run playbooks and manage infrastructure. We can check more about this tool using Ansible --help command. Define and run a single task playbook against a set of hosts. You can see all these options here, which can be passed as an arguments to the Ansible command. Let's see this basic Ansible ad hoc command syntax here. Sudo Ansible target -m module name -a module options, argument options. Target here is the host or group of hosts to target defined in your inventory. -m we use to specify the Ansible module. Module here is the Ansible module to use, for example, ping module, apt, copy, etc. -a used to provide the arguments to the module. So with modules, we have some mandatory arguments which are needed and some are optional. Ansible includes a wide range of modules that are used to interact with various systems and services. Modules are reusable, self-contained units of automation that perform specific tasks like package management, file manipulation, user management, and more. Let's see how to search for the Ansible modules and use them. Go to your browser and search for Ansible modules. Click on this first link here. all modules. It will open an Ansible documentation page where all the Ansible modules are listed. Click on any one of them, for example, this apt package here. It will show you the details of that module, like description of the module, requirement to execute this module on host machine, what parameters can be used with this, etc. And the very exciting thing available here is examples, how to use this module. You can use them in ad hoc commands as well as in your playbooks. Use this documentation to find out more about any module you want to use. You can also use the terminal to search for the module. From terminal, run Ansible doc, the module name, space, like apt. And here is the result. Description of the apt module, its requirement, what are the parameters we can pass to this apt module, and as well as we have some examples here. You can also see it displays the module location on this VM. We can navigate to this location and see what modules and plugins are available. Run ls modules. These are the modules we have. Then ls plugins. These are the plugins we have. How you can search for Ansible modules using Ansible doc command line tool. Let's get back to our Ansible example. With this syntax, I'm running this command in the terminal. Ansible localhost -m package -a and the argument is name Apache 2 and state will be latest. With this command, Ansible will install an Apache package on my local host if it is not already present. This is a very fundamental step of using Ansible CLI. This concise introduction merely scratches the surface, but Ansible's immense potential empowers you to accomplish a wide array of automation tasks. Next tool we have is Ansible config. Ansible also provides a configuration file ansible.cfg where you can set various options and preferences for Ansible's behavior. Let's run -h with this tool. It says this is a config command line class. When we run Ansible config -- version from terminal, it shows that there is no config file available. Or we can check the current settings using Ansible -config dump command. Please note that user config file overrides the default config if present. Now let's discuss about Ansible console. The Ansible console tool is an interactive command line interface CLI that allows you to interact with Ansible and run Ansible tasks, playbooks, and modules in a more interactive and exploratory way. It provides a REPL, real eval print loop environment where you can type commands, execute Ansible tasks, and see the result in real time. Simply run the Ansible console command from terminal to launch the interactive Ansible console. Once inside the Ansible console, you can use it to execute Ansible tasks, playbooks, and modules. Ansible console supports several commands and you can modify its configuration at runtime. Next, we have Ansible doc. Displays information on modules installed in Ansible libraries. It displays a terse listing of plugins and their short descriptions, provides a printout of their documentation strings, and it can create a short snippet which can be pasted into a playbook. To access documentation for a specific Ansible module, use the Ansible -doc command followed by the name of the module. For example, like this here, I can use Ansible -doc apt to read more about this module. This is an excellent resource for gaining a comprehensive understanding and quickly accessing information about any Ansible component whenever you need it. Next in the list, we have Ansible Galaxy. Ansible Galaxy is a valuable resource for Ansible users. It is a web-based platform and command line tool for sharing, finding, and reusing Ansible roles, collections, and content. It serves as a centralized repository for the Ansible community, allowing users to discover, contribute, and collaborate on Ansible automation content. In your browser, search for Ansible Galaxy. Click on the first result. This is web-based Ansible Galaxy platform. You can search for roles and collections which are shared by the community user. You can search for any specific role or collection you want. For example, here in roles page, let's search for user_management. We got this result. Let's check out this Soma's role here. You can install it from install tab. You can also check its Git repo from here. To proceed further, read the documentation given here. You will find all the details for using this Galaxy role. This way you can use roles and collection from Ansible Galaxy. Now let's go back to our terminal. With Ansible Galaxy command line tool, we can check if any collections got installed or not. Run Ansible-Galaxy collection list. You will see a list with the version number. You can search for a specific collection by using grep command along with the previous command. Ansible-Galaxy collection list by grep community. If you want to verify the Ansible collection, for example, like verify community.azure collection, then please run Ansible-Galaxy collection verify community.azure. And here is the output. Next in the list we have Ansible inventory tool. Let's run this Ansible inventory -help command in the terminal to know more about it. The Ansible inventory tool is used to display and manipulate Ansible's inventory, which is a list of hosts or groups of hosts that Ansible can manage. You can use this tool to view the inventory structure, filter hosts or groups, and even create dynamic inventories. It can be quite handy for inventory management. To view the complete inventory structure, you can simply run Ansible-inventory -list. Here you can see it's giving me this output as I don't have any inventory file created yet. So let's create one. In my home directory, let's create this simple vi inventory. And inside this file, I have this. You can also provide the IP addresses of the host machines. Here we have total 3 hosts. 2 hosts are under web server group and 1 host under database group. We will dedicate a separate video to cover inventory in more details, so don't fret if you find this file a bit confusing at the moment. Save it. Now let's run our previous command Ansible inventory -list. You can see the result. You can also provide the path to the inventory file using -i command if the inventory file is located in some other directory. The Ansible inventory tool can produce output in various formats, including JSON, YAML, or INI. Ansible inventory is a handy tool for inspecting and managing inventory information, especially in complex or dynamic inventory scenarios where host and groups changes frequently. It allows you to gather information about your inventory, make changes, and interact with your Ansible environment more effectively. Moving next, we have Ansible Playbook. To use Ansible Playbook, you need to have an Ansible Playbook ready. Playbooks are YAML files that define a series of tasks to be executed on remote host. Let's create this simple playbook to install Apache server on localhost. vi install_apache.yaml. Here is the content of the file. For playbook as well, we will have a separate video, so don't worry if you don't understand this file at the moment. The name of the playbook is install a package. It will install Apache 2 package using apt module of Ansible on the localhost. Here the name of the task is ensure the package is installed. Now let's run this playbook using Ansible-playbook. And here we have the output of this command. Ansible Playbook provides various options to control playbook execution, such as specifying variables, using tags, limiting tasks to specific host, and more. Moving next, we have Ansible Pull. Ansible Pull is an executable and a command line tool provided by Ansible for a specific use case. Unlike the more common Ansible command, which is used to push configuration changes to remote host, Ansible Pull is used to pull and apply configurations from a version controlled repository, typically a Git repository. Ansible Pull is particularly useful in scenarios where a traditional Ansible push model might be impractical, such as edge computing, IoT devices, or when you want to keep configuration management decentralized. It leverages the strength of version control system to automate the distribution and application of Ansible configurations across your infrastructure. Last tool to discuss here is Ansible Vault. Ansible Vault is a command line utility in Ansible that is used for encrypting and decrypting sensitive data such as variables, passwords, and other secrets within Ansible playbooks, inventory files, or other Ansible related files. Encrypting sensitive data helps protect it from unauthorized access and ensures the security of your infrastructure automation code. And it is widely used in production environment to protect credentials and other confidential information within automation tasks and configuration files. It ensures that your secrets are encrypted and only accessible to authorized users. With this, we complete our video on exploring Ansible CLI and its built-in tools. Thank you for joining today.
TechLetters.net provides the Ansible AWX offer in the form of a virtual machine solution, leading cloud platforms including Google Cloud, Amazon Web Services, AWS, and Microsoft Azure. To ensure you have the best learning experience and can follow the course content seamlessly, we highly recommend provisioning the pre-configured Ansible AWX virtual machine solution available on this cloud marketplaces. This VM environment has been tailored to perfectly align with the course material and exercises. Here how to get started. Go to www.techlatest.net/AWX. Click the provided cloud provider marketplace link. Follow the on-screen instructions to launch the VM. To make the provisioning of VM easy for you, we have step-by-step guides which shows all the steps and details. All the links are in the description. Don't miss out on the benefits of this tailored learning environment.
Welcome to another video in this series on automation with Ansible AWX presented by techlatest.net. Hello and welcome. So far we have delved into the theoretical aspects and explored Ansible, AWS and Tower at a high level. In this video we will dive into practical demonstration. We will explore the process of creating inventories, executing ad hoc commands, running multiple tasks using Ansible playbooks, and crafting a personalized Ansible configuration file to define user-specific or project-specific settings. So without further ado, let's begin our video. For this specific video, I have my Techlatest Ansible AWX VM up and running. This serves as my control node where I have Ansible installed and configured out of the box. I will be using this node to execute Ansible commands throughout this video here. For host machines, I have two Ubuntu virtual machines and one CentOS VM up and running. My Ansible control node VM is also having Ubuntu distribution. The Techlatest Ansible AWX solution is also running on the Ubuntu operating system. So on my control node, let's check for the Ansible version. It's 2.10 here. Please note that this Techlatest Ansible AWX virtual machine solution receives regular updates. So this version may change in the future, but at the time of recording this video, it's 2.10. It's also showing that there is no config file and the location of executable files. We already discussed these things in our previous videos. Please make a note that Ansible is only needed on the control node, and on manage host we only need Python and SSH if it's Linux machine, and WinRM if it's Windows machine. Now here I am going to create one common user, non-root user on all the machines including my control node. We can SSH to the host machine using password authentication, but to make it more secure, we will generate SSH keys at Ansible VM and copy them to the host machines. But at first, I need to connect to the host machine using password authentication. So let's SSH to the machine. For first connection, it will ask to add the host to the non-host list. So provide yes here. I'm getting permission denied, public key error. It's trying to connect to the root user. Let's attempt this using the Ubuntu user, which is available on host machine. SSH Ubuntu at IP address of the VM. Still getting the same error. The reason is that sometimes password authentication is disabled on the machines to enforce key-based authentication exclusively. To fix this, let's go to our host machine. I'm here on Ubuntu host 1. Open SSHD config file using VI editor. Go to password authentication line. As you can see, it is configured to no. Change it to yes and save the changes. As we made the changes in SSH configuration file, we need to restart the SSH daemon using sudo systemctl restart sshd. Now let's go back to our Ansible control node and try to connect using Ubuntu user. And now it's asking for password. Enter the password and here we go. We are connected to host machine. As I said earlier, we are going to create one non-root user on all the machines. So I'm creating Ansible user here on this host 1. Provide the password. Now the user is created and here is the home directory. Close this connection and let's go back to our control node. I already have Ansible user here. Let's navigate to home directory. We'll create the SSH keys here. Run SSH key gen command. You can create different types of keys using this keygen command. We'll go with the ed25519. So hyphen t ed25519 -c for comment, giving comment as Ansible. It's showing me the location where it's going to create the key. Hit enter. It says I already have a ed25519 key at this location. So I will continue with the old key, but this is the command with which you can create the SSH key. I'll check my key using ls-la2.ssh directory, and here is the private and public key pair. I need to copy this public key to the host VMs to make the connection. With SSH copy ID command, I can copy the keys to the host. Here, enter yes. Password of Ansible user. The key got copied successfully. Now we can connect to VM without the password authentication. We enter without the password using key authentication. This is particularly useful when automating tasks with Ansible. Now let's start with some Ansible ad hoc commands. In Ansible, an ad hoc command is a one-line command used to perform simple, specific tasks on remote host without the need to create a full clip. I have created one Ansible host project directory here for this demo. cd to this directory. It's empty. Let's create an inventory file first using the vi inventory command. An inventory is a list of target hosts or groups of hosts that Ansible can manage and automate tasks on. The inventory is a fundamental component of Ansible and is used to define and organize the host you want to work with. I am providing the IP address of my Ubuntu host. You can give fully functional DNS names as well. Save the file. Let's try to ping to the host VM. For that, I will use ping model of Ansible and running it on all hosts. It's giving warning. In our ad hoc command, we need to mention the inventory file to invoke using -i option. So my command will be Ansible all -i, my inventory name, -m, module name, ping. It got executed successfully. It connected to the host VM and collected Ansible facts as well. Change here is false as the command is not making any changes on host machine. Everything is going well so far. Next, let's try to create a new user on the host VM using Ansible. Ansible all -i inventory -m. Now the module here is user, and we need to pass some mandatory arguments as well. So -a and the name as demo user. Before running this command, let's read about user module first. Ansible doc user. User module is used to manage user accounts and user attributes. You can read about any Ansible module using Ansible -doc followed by module name command. Before executing the Ansible command, let's verify whether the user is present on the host machine or not. On host machine, ls home directory, and you can see demo user is not in the list. Go back to control node and run our Ansible command now. I'm getting permission denied error. The Ansible user on host machine don't have permission to add new users. In Linux systems, it's a common practice to create new users and grant them sudo access, allowing them to execute tasks with elevated privileges rather than running tasks using the root user. In Ansible, we need privilege escalation too, and to do privilege escalation, sudo is the default mechanism. So in our ad hoc command, we can add -become parameter. The -become parameter in Ansible is used to perform tasks with escalated privileges. It allows you to execute commands or playbooks with elevated permissions, typically by becoming the super user or another privileged user like root or sudo. Now it's saying missing sudo password error. To add sudo password, we can use --as become pass parameter in our ad hoc command. Now hit enter. It's asking for Ansible user password. Enter the password. Again we got the error. Now it says Ansible is not in this words file. And what that means is Ansible user is not having permission to use sudo privileges. To fix this issue, go to the host VM and switch to the root user. cd to etc/sudoers.d directory. Create Ansible file with vi Ansible command and enter Ansible all, no password all, just like that. Now save the changes, go back to control node On this machine, I have already added Ansible to the source file to grant elevated privileges. Now let's try to run our previous command to add demo user on host machine. Provide the password, hit enter. It got executed successfully. Change is true now. On host VM, you can see demo user is in the list now. Please note that the setup I am sharing here, including modifying the source file and enabling password authentication from the SSH configuration file, is specific to the new user added for this demo. If you already have your Linux user account fully configured with the necessary privileges, you won't need to follow these steps. In such cases, you can directly provision the TechLatest Ansible AWX VM, create the project inventory file, and start your automation without this additional configuration. Up to this point, we have covered how to use Ansible to ping a host VM and create a new user. Now let's try to install some packages on host machine. We'll try with unzip package first. This is the command to install the unzip package. You can see this state equal to latest option is provided here so that it will install the latest version of the unzip. If you are providing more than one argument, be sure to enclose them in double quotation marks like this here. Also verify if unzip is available on host VM or not. So it's not there. We are using the apt module to install the package. Status change to true. On host VM, now unzip package is available. Unzip version gives us the version of the package. We will update our inventory file and add one more Ubuntu host here. Save the changes with Ansible all -i inventory -list -host command. We can list all the hosts available in our inventory file. I have done the similar setup of Ansible user on this new host as well. Copied the SSH keys and updated the source file. Now let's ping the host. Successful on both the hosts. Create demo user on both the hosts. Hit enter. Got executed successfully. But there is a difference in the output. On host 95, the operation was successful, but no changes were made because the demo user already exists on this host. For second host 220, changes are true and it created the demo user on this machine. This is Ansible's idempotent property. Idempotent tasks are designed so that no matter how many times you run the same task, the result remains the same as if they were executed only once. It ensures that you can safely and predictably apply configurations and perform tasks without unintended consequences. Let's go back to our unzip installation command. We can install the package with just one change in our command. When we change this step from latest to upsend and hit enter, Ansible will remove the package from the host machines. It is as simple as that. It removed the unzip package from both the hosts. We can verify it from the host machines. Up to this point, we have been running ad hoc commands with multiple parameters. You can simplify and shorten these commands by defining the repeated parameters in the Ansible configuration file ansible.cfg. This can make your Ansible commands more concise and easier to manage. If you use a project-specific ansible.cfg file, simply create the file in the root directory of your Ansible project. And Ansible will automatically detect and use it when you run Ansible commands or playbooks within that project directory. The setting in the project-specific Ansible.cfg file will take precedence over the global configuration, allowing you to tailor Ansible to the specific use of your project. I'm in a project directory run via Ansible.cfg. We'll define the default settings like this here. Inventory as inventory. Also, I will set become to true. You can add more defaults here, but for now, I'm adding these parameters only. Save the changes. Now let's shorten our previous unzip install command. Remove the become, also remove -i inventory. Hit enter. This is how you can create project-specific configuration file and define the defaults. Ad hoc commands are suitable for quick one-off tasks such as pinging host, gathering information, or making minor configuration changes. Ad hoc commands are straightforward and don't require the complex operations. But what if I want to automate complex multi-step or repeatable processes, or when require advanced error handling and reporting? In that case, we can write playbooks and perform the operations. An Ansible playbook is a text file written in YAML format that defines a series of tasks, configurations, and instructions for Ansible to execute on remote host. Playbooks are the heart of Ansible automation and provide a way to describe the desired state of the system and the tasks needed to achieve that state. Till now, we have inventory and Ansible config file in our Ansible host project directory. Now let's create a playbook to install Apache on our Ubuntu host. In my project directory, run vi install underscore apache.yaml. This is a simple playbook to install the Apache tool. Starting by defining the targeted host. Here, all become true. Task is name of the task. Install Apache 2 package. Using the apt module, remember we used to give -m in our ad hoc command for module. This is that module. Name of the module is Apache 2 that we use to pass the -a argument in ad hoc command. Save the changes. To run the playbook, we will use Ansible -playbook command line utility. We already discussed about it in our previous videos. Ansible -playbook name, it got executed successfully. Changed on both hosts. You can see the output is more organized when running the playbooks instead of ad hoc commands. We can verify the installation from our host machine as well. From host machine, run sudo systemctl status Apache 2. Before it was showing Apache services not found. After running the playbook, it shows services active. Now I updated the playbook to include snapd package as well. One syntax is you can write it this way, or you can shorten it under the same name, like this here. Save the changes, run the playbook. Playbook executed successfully, but there are no changes as Apache 2 was previously installed and snapd is present by default on the host machines. Till now we were working with Ubuntu host. Now I am adding my third and last CentOS host in the inventory. Save the changes. List all host. Ansible user is added and SSH keys and other setup is already done on CentOS host as well. Let's run ping command. It ran successfully. My CentOS host is giving some duplication warning. We can silence this warning by setting this argument in Ansible configuration file. So let's edit it. Save the changes. Again run the ping command. Now the warning message is gone. So far everything is working fine. Now let's try to execute our Apache playbook with CentOS host added in the inventory. We are getting error for CentOS. Apt get no such file or directory. Different Linux distribution often use different package managers to install and manage software packages. On Ubuntu, the package manager is typically apt or apt-get, while on CentOS, Fedora, and Red Hat, DNF or yum is commonly used. So we need to modify our playbook to make it compatible with CentOS as well. We will work on Apache 2 only. I'm removing this snapd here from here. I'm writing one more play to install the package on CentOS. On CentOS, we have httpd package instead of Apache 2. Module we are going to use is DNF. Name of the package is httpd. We are also using the when condition here. With the when condition, we are specifying the Linux distribution and when to run this play. The when condition allows you to define under which circumstances a particular task or play should be executed, making your playbook more dynamic and adaptable to different environments. In this case, it ensures that the play runs on host with the specified Linux distribution. Before running the playbook, let's check CentOS host for httpd. It's showing the service, but the service is currently disabled. On Ubuntu distribution, when we install the Apache package, the Apache service get enabled in the background. But in the CentOS distribution, we need to enable it manually. So the playbook should run successfully, but it will not install anything. Let's go back to Ansible control node and run the playbook. So from the output here, it collected the facts for all three host machines. For first play, install Apache 2 package, skip the CentOS host. And for second play, skip both the Ubuntu host and ran on your CentOS host. As the package is already there on CentOS machine, we need to enable this service. We can achieve this using the service model of Ansible. Here I have my playbook updated to include service play. Name of the play is start HTTPD service on CentOS. Module we are using here is service. Module name HTTPD. State we want to start the service. Save the changes. Now run the playbook. There is one change in the start HTTPD service on CentOS play. Let's check the service on host. Now it's active and running. Till now we are installing the packages on host machines. Now let's see how to install the packages. I have created one playbook install_apache.yaml, and the content of the file is very much similar to the install Apache playbook, only the difference is state. Here we define the state as absent. With the state as absent, Ansible will try to install the package if it is present on the targeted host. Let's run the playbook. In the first play, it installed the Apache 2 from Ubuntu host, skipping CentOS. In second, install the HTTPD from CentOS, skipping Ubuntu host. Till now, we were executing playbooks with when condition on all of our hosts. But what if we want to run the task only on the subset of the host? We can achieve this with better approach in Ansible using groups. A group is a way to categorize and organize hosts. Groups allow you to collect related hosts under a common label, making it easier to manage and automate tasks on subset of your infrastructure. We can group our hosts in many different ways. Here is a simple example from our previous demo. I have updated my inventory file. Now it has two groups, named Ubuntu servers and CentOS servers. Under Ubuntu servers, I have two hosts, and under CentOS server, I have one host. Save the changes. I also updated install Apache playbook. In my playbook now, I have updated host from all to specific group. For Apache installation, I am using Ubuntu server group. For HTTPD installation and starting service, I am using CentOS server group. Save the changes. Run the playbook. I have run the install Apache playbook before running this. So Apache and HTTPD is not available on the host machines. Now the output here shows group-wise execution from top to bottom. It started on Ubuntu servers group, collected the facts for this group, then executed the task on them, then it moved to second group CentOS. This is a simple example of using groups in inventory file. You can group hosts based on their rules, functions, environment, or any other criteria that makes sense for their infrastructure. This simplifies the automation of tasks across multiple hosts that share a common purpose. Please make a note that a host can be a member of multiple groups in your inventory file. So if you have one host in a Rasker group, it can be a member of testing group as well. There is so much more to explore with Ansible. Roles, collections, and other advanced techniques can help us write playbooks more efficiently and effectively. Stay tuned for our upcoming videos where we will dive deeper into these topics. For today's video, we are going to conclude here. Thank you for joining.
TechLetters.net provides the Ansible AWX offer in the form of a virtual machine solution, leading cloud platforms including Google Cloud, Amazon Web Services, AWS, and Microsoft Azure. To ensure you have the best learning experience and can follow the course content seamlessly, we highly recommend provisioning the pre-configured Ansible AWX virtual machine solution available on these cloud marketplaces. This VM environment has been tailored to perfectly align with the course material and exercises. Here how to get started. Go to www.techletters.net/AWX. Click the provided cloud provider marketplace link. Follow the on-screen instructions to launch the VM. To make the provisioning of VM easy for you, we have step-by-step guides which shows all the steps and details. All the links are in the description. Don't miss out on the benefits of this tailored learning environment.
Hello and welcome to another exciting video of the Automation with Ansible AWX video series presented by TechLetters.net. In our last video, we delved deep into the world of Ansible, covering topics such as creating inventories, running ad hoc commands, crafting playbooks, and fine-tuning the Ansible configuration file. It was a hands-on experience and everything was done using the Ansible CL app. But today, we are taking it a step further. In this tutorial, we will embark on a guided tour of the AWX user interface, which is the open source counterpart of Ansible Tower. We will navigate the AWX interface step by step, empowering you to seamlessly manage and automate your IT infrastructure. And here is the exciting part. We will showcase how you can manage the very same infrastructure as we did using the Ansible CLI in our previous video, but this time through the intuitive interface of AWX. So let's dive in. Here we are on the AWX login page. If you have been following our series, you will know that this AWX instance comes pre-installed with the TechLatest Ansible AWX Virtual Machine solution. In our previous videos, we have already covered how to access this AWX graphical user interface and acquire the login credentials. If you need a refresher on that, please feel free to check out our earlier content. For now, let's proceed with exploring the AWX interface and what it has to offer. Login with admin user and the password. It comes with the friendly graphical framework. On top right pane, you can see all these options here. Bell icon is for notification. You can check more about the version of AWX by clicking here. At the time of recording this video, the AWX version is 22.7. The TechLatest Ansible AWX solution receives regular updates, so the version we are demonstrating today may evolve in the future. You can also access the user profile page from here. Right now I am logged in as an admin user. Clicking on this option takes me to the admin user page. Here you can edit the user. From left pane, you can see I am in user menu. Clicking on edit option opens this detail page. Here you can update the information related to the user. You can also update the password from here. Going back to dashboard view, you can click on this angry potato icon to go back to default page. These three short lines can be used to hide and show the side menu. In the left pane, you will notice various menus with their respective submenus. The user interface provides several options for viewing information. Here, what you will find on the dashboard view: host, job status, inventories, projects, templates, schedules, and more. It's a central hub for monitoring the health and performance of your automation tasks and resources. Then we have jobs. The jobs view is where you can see a comprehensive list of all job runs performed within AWX. You can filter and search for specific jobs, view detailed job logs, and access job templates to rerun tasks as needed. This view is essential for tracking the execution and results of your automation jobs. Schedules. This view shows all the scheduled jobs that are configured. You can define recurring jobs specifying when and how often certain playbooks or tasks should be executed. Here is a wide range of options you can use to schedule your task. This feature is handy for automating routine tasks and maintenance on a set schedule. You can view the activity stream for the user by clicking on the activity stream button. An activity stream shows all changes for a particular object. For each change, the activity stream shows the time of the event, the user that initiated the event, and the action. Clicking on the examine button shows the event log for the change. The resources and access menus provide you access to the various components of Ansible AWX and allow you to configure who has permissions for which of those resources. In resources, we have inventories. We already discussed about inventories in previous video. Inventories help organize your host and manage where your playbooks run. You can create, edit, or view the details of your inventories here. When you create any inventory, it will show you the options to add host, groups, permissions, users, and all. You can see this demo inventory here. Next, we have projects. Projects are where you store your playbooks and other automation resources like roles, collection, etc. You can create a new project and link it to a version control system like Git. We will see that in a moment. Next, we have credentials. Store and manage credentials for secure access to resources and systems. You can create different types of credentials like machine credential, which are used for SSH, WinRM, and other connections. Network credentials store network related credentials for various protocols. SCM credentials allow you to configure source control management credentials for your projects. Vault credentials allow you to manage credentials used for encrypting sensitive data within playbooks. And there are many more. Now let's see template. When you have set up your inventory with host, created a project containing playbooks and other automation resources, and configured the necessary credentials to connect to those resources, it's time to bring everything together using templates. Templates serve as the bridge that allows you to execute playbooks on specific hosts using the provided credentials. They tie all the components together. When you click to create a template, it will show you two options. Job templates, which creates job template for running automation tasks. And second is workflow templates, allows you to define, orchestrate, and automate complex automation processes by stringing together multiple job templates and tasks into a structured workflow. This template type are especially useful when you need to coordinate and automate tasks that depend on each other, have dependencies, or need to be executed in a specific order. In Access menu, we have organization, team, and user options. An organization is a logical collection of users, teams, projects, and inventories, and is the highest level in the AWS object hierarchy. Organizations are designed to help you structure and control access to various components of AWS, making it easier to manage automation, project, credentials, and permissions. Organizations act as a way to isolate and segment resources within AWS. This segregation allows you to manage different projects and resources independently, making it ideal for environments with multiple teams or departments. Users can only see and interact with the resources within their assigned organization. This provides security and privacy, as users from one organization cannot access or modify resources in other organizations unless and until you provide them access to the resources of other organizations. You can create the organization from here, provide the details, and save the changes. Now, whenever you are creating new resources like inventories, projects, templates, it will show you the option to select the organization to which these resources will belong. As you can manage the user membership for any resources you create, on the respective resource page, you can manage user membership on a per user basis from the users page by clicking the users option here. Clicking on a user brings up that user's details, allowing you to review, grant, edit, and remove associated permissions for that user. And similarly, you can organize users into teams, making it easier to manage permissions and assignments. When we are talking about user, we should consider explaining role-based access control in AWS. Role-based access controls, RBAC, are built into AWS and allow administrators to delegate access to server inventories, organizations, and more. RBACs are easiest to think of in terms of roles, which define precisely who or what can see, change, or delete an object for which a specific capabilities is being set. RBAC is the practice of granting roles to users or teams. There are a few main concepts that you should become familiar with regarding RBAC as designed roles, resources, and users. Users can be members of a role, which gives them certain access to any resources associated with that role or any resources associated with descendant roles. A role is essentially a collection of capabilities. For example, here we want to give user specific permissions. It will first ask you to select the resource type like inventory, projects, playbooks. Suppose I select project, then it takes me to the next page to select the project from the available list. After selecting the project, it shows different types of roles associated with that resource. I can apply any of these rules for the selected resources to the user. There will be different types of roles depending on the resource type you select. So if it's a template or job, it will show you execute role as well. Within an organization, roles are relatively stable, while users and capabilities are both numerous and may change rapidly. With that said, let's discuss our final menus here and start the demo. The administration menu provides access to the various administrative options. From here, you can create, view, and edit custom credential types, notifications, management jobs, tokens and applications, etc. Settings menu allow you to apply different configuration settings for AWS. Like here, you can set Azure Active Directory settings, GitHub settings, job settings, user interface settings, and many more. Now let's start with our demo here. If you are following along, then in our previous video, we created one inventory file with 3 hosts, 2 Ubuntu hosts, 1 CentOS host. We are going to use the same host here. Also, I created one repository on GitHub with all those playbooks we created earlier. So for playbooks, I'm going to pull them from Git repo into my AWS project. These hosts are already set up with the SSH key based authentication. So we will see how to authenticate them from AWS interface. Let's go to host tab first and see what we have here. I already added 2 Ubuntu hosts here. Let's go to the inventory tab. I have created one inventory named Ansible demo. The 2 Ubuntu hosts I previously showed you belongs to this inventory. Let's add our third CentOS host in this inventory. I am inside Ansible demo inventory. Click on add, enter IP address here. provide description, and save the changes. Now when I click on host tab inside this inventory, it shows 3 hosts. Now adding any group, no, not adding any group right now here. So we are done with the inventory. Next, let's see project. Here also I have created Ansible demo project. Let's click it, edit, and see how I have configured it. Provide name and description as Ansible demo. Organization I kept as default. Source control type I selected Git as I am going to pull the playbooks from there. There are multiple options available. You can choose from the list. Source control URL I provided from GitHub repository. Just go to GitHub where your repository is and click on code. It will show you the option to clone. Copy the HTTPS link and paste it here in source control URL. Since this repository is private, I must supply the necessary credentials to access my GitHub account and then proceed to clone the repository. So for this purpose, I created this git source control credential. I will show you this in a moment. Let me save this project here. This project details page. This is project's detail page. You can provide access to different users or teams from here. Also, you can schedule it from the schedule tab. Before proceeding, I would like to share something with you regarding the manual project creation process. Click on add project, give the name and description and select the default organization. Now when you choose source control type as manual, it may show you this error message and will not allow you to create the project. The reason for this is that there are no playbooks available in this directory here, which is project based path. All the available playbooks are associated with the projects. To fix this, we need to go to this directory and create new project and playbook inside this project. Just connect to your latest virtual machine solution via SSH terminal. Connect to the AWX container using this command here. Now cd to the base project directory. Here you can see I have 3 projects. This demo project comes with the installation by default. I created these 2 projects. So there is no spare playbook available to use in our new project. I am creating new directory using make dir command. Cd to this directory. Create one YAML file here, like this simple one. Save the changes. Now refresh the AWX page. Try to create manual project now. Now the error message is gone. It should show you the playbook project directory. This is how you can create and use manual source control type. Back to our demo. We are ready with Ansible demo inventory and Ansible demo project consisting of our demo playbooks. Next, we need to configure credentials. We will need 2 types of credentials for this demo. One for logging to GitHub account and pulling the playbooks. This credential will be used by Ansible demo project to clone and sync the repo. The second type of credentials we need is SSH keys to log into the host machines and perform the automation task. For Git login, I have created this Git source control credential. Let's open it. Here credential type is source control. Then I provided the username and password. GitHub has phased out password authentication for security reasons and has encouraged the use of personal access tokens, PATs or SSH keys for authentication instead. To create the personal access token, go to your GitHub account. From top right corner, click on your icon. Scroll down and select settings. On settings page, scroll down and select developer setting from left pane. Here we have personal access token, generate the one. Copy paste it in the password field of source control credentials on AWX while creating the credentials. As I am using private repo, I need this credential, otherwise for public cloning, I don't need this authentication. For second type of credential, to SSH to the host machine, click on add button, provide the name and description, select the credential type as machine, provide the username. In our last video, we created Ansible user on all hosts as well as on control node to carry out the automation task. Provide the same user here. Now we need SSH private key. For that, go to VM's SSH terminal. We created the key for Ansible user and copied them to the host machines. We need this private key. So copy this full key from here and paste it in AWS private key. Need to give privilege escalation, so set it to sudo here. Now save the changes. I already created this Ansible demo credentials for SSH connectivity. I have this git source control credential to use in project and Ansible demo credentials to use in template. So now I have all the things to execute the task on host machines. Let's bind them together using template. In the template, you need to specify these details: the inventory to use, the project to access, the playbook to execute if the project contains multiple playbooks, and the credentials required to access the host. Let's create a template to run ping playbook first. Click and add. Select add job template. Provide the details here. Name is ping demo. Description ping all the host. Inventory is Ansible demo. Project is Ansible demo. Playbook drop down showing two options. I'm selecting ping.yaml playbook. Credential types as machine credentials to SSH to the host VMs. Select Ansible demo. These are the extra options available. You can choose as per your test case. Save the template. Let's launch this template from here. It will take you to the job page where it will show you the progress and result of the execution. Ping demo is successful. All my hosts are working and reachable. We can see the details of the job from here. It gathered facts for all three hosts and executed successfully. Now let's go back to our Ansible project and sync it one more time. You can also set the automatic sync on. So let's go to the template and now run the install Apache playbook. This is the playbook I'm going to execute. We already saw the details of this playbook in our previous video. Let's create a template to run this playbook. Click add, job template, name install Apache, description is install Apache and HTTPD. Job type is run, inventory Ansible demo, project is Ansible demo project, playbook install apache.yaml, credential Ansible demo for SSH connection. Save the template. Let's launch it. Wait for a few seconds. It got executed successfully. It installed the Apache 2 on Ubuntu host and HTTPD on CentOS host. You can select the output from this area. It will show you this pop-up. Click on JSON. It will show you all the details about the job. And here is the output job. So you can check this to see the full task execution. It is helpful for debugging as well. This is how you can do Ansible automation using AWX. AWX offers significant advantages over the Ansible command line interface. One key benefit is its web-based graphical interface, making it more accessible to users with varying levels of technical expertise. It provides centralized management of Ansible tasks, playbooks, and inventories, streamlining automation workflows and improving collaboration among team members. AWX also offers job scheduling and logging, allowing for more efficient and auditable task automation. Furthermore, it supports role-based access control, ensuring secure management and execution of tasks. Overall, AWX enhances the usability, scalability, and control of Ansible automation, making it a valuable tool for both beginners and experienced automation professionals. With this, we wrap up our today's video. Stay tuned. Thank you for watching.
TechLetters.net provides the Ansible AWX offer in the form of a virtual machine solution, leading cloud platforms including Google Cloud, Amazon Web Services, AWS, and Microsoft Azure. To ensure you have the best learning experience and can follow the course content seamlessly, we highly recommend provisioning the pre-configured Ansible AWX virtual machine solution available on this cloud marketplaces. This VM environment has been tailored to perfectly align with the course material and exercises. Here how to get started. Go to www.techletters.net/AWX. Click the provided cloud provider marketplace link. Follow the on-screen instructions to launch the VM. To make the provisioning of VM easy for you, we have step-by-step guides which shows all the steps and details. All the links are in the description. Don't miss out on the benefits of this tailored learning environment.
Welcome to the concluding video of the Automation with Ansible AWX series brought to you by TechLetters.net. In this final demonstration, we will explore the integration of Ansible Galaxy roles into our playbook and demonstrate how to execute tasks defined by these roles using the AWX user interface. This marks the culmination of our series, showcasing the seamless collaboration of Ansible and AWX for efficient automation. So let's dive in. Ansible Galaxy is a platform for discovering, sharing, and managing Ansible content, including rules and collections. It serves as a central repository where Ansible users can find pre-written Ansible content, such as rules and collections that automate common tasks and configurations. Ansible roles and collections are shareable units of automation that encapsulate reusable playbooks, variables, and tasks. Galaxy provides a place for authors to distribute these roles and collections. So I'm here on Ansible Galaxy page. Here you can search different roles and collections shared by the community. We are going to use role shared by Gerling Guy. Jeff Gerling is a well-known figure in the Ansible and DevOps communities. To see the roles shared by him, go to Namespace under Roles tab, search with Gerling Guy, click on the result, browse through the list. He has shared so many roles to automate the jobs. So for this demo, we will install Java on our host using role. Search for Java here. This is the role we are going to use in our playbook, gerlingguy.java, provided by Gerling Guy. This role installs the Java on different Linux flavors if it is not already present. Click on the role. Here we have install tab. We can copy paste this command in our latest virtual machine terminal to install it. But for this video, we are not using Ansible CLI. Instead, we will do it from AWX. So the process is a little different. We can read more about it in documentation tab. Ansible role is Java. What it is going to do? It is going to install Java on Red Hat CentOS type system and Debian Ubuntu servers. There is no requirements to use this role. Available variables with different values are listed here. An example playbook is given here. We have to provide the host, then give the role name like this here, gerlingguy.java, and become yes to give sudo privileges. You can check the different versions of this role under versions tab. We are going to provide the latest version 2.3.2, which was released 16 days ago. We can check the Git repo for this role from this GitHub repository link. Same thing is given here as on the documentation page of Ansible Galaxy. We can check the playbook by going to defaults, task, and main.yaml file. Here it is. All the tasks this role is going to execute. First, it is going to look for Java is available or not. If not, then it will install it as per the Linux distro. Once done, it will set the environment variables. Now let's see my setup here. I'm using this latest Ansible AWX source repo as the source control management. We already executed these playbooks in our previous demos. To use Ansible Galaxy roles, we typically create a roles folder in Ansible project root directory. Then create requirements.yaml file inside roles directory specifying the roles or collections you want to include. So this is my roles folder. Inside it, I have requirements.yaml file, and the content of this file is name of the role, gerlingguy.java, source is GitHub repo of this role, and the latest version. This is all I need to provide in the requirements.yaml file. If you want to use more roles, you can specify them in same manner in this file. And this is my playbook, install Java using role.yaml. Very simple playbook. Name is install Java, host all the hosts in the provided inventory, become true to provide the privilege escalation, and this is the way we provide role in the playbook, roles colon, then on next line name of the role. Here gerlingguy.java. That's it. Now let's go to AWX interface and see our setup there. In my inventory, I have Ansible demo inventory. It contains 3 hosts, 2 Ubuntu and 1 CentOS. Let's check my credentials. I have this Git source control credentials to fetch the playbook from GitHub into my AWX project, and Ansible demo machine credentials to SSH to host machines and execute the task. I have explained this setup from scratch in our previous video. You can check that video for reference. In my project tab, I have created a new project named roles_example. Let's edit it and see what's inside it. Name, description, default organization. For source control type, I selected Git. Source control URL, I provided it from the GitHub repo page. From here, source control credentials. Save the changes and sync the project one more time. It got synced successfully. Now let's see the final thing here, template. I have created this roles_demo template. Let's edit it and see what's inside it. Name, description, job type, run. Inventory is Ansible demo. Project is roles_example. Playbook is install Java using roles.yaml and machine credentials. Save the changes. Let's launch the job. But before launching the job, let's check whether the Java is available on the host machines or not. On Ubuntu host 2, Java is not there. On Ubuntu host 1, Java is already installed. On CentOS, it is missing. Going back to AWX, one more job setting we need to check before launching the job. Scroll down, go to settings options, open this job settings section and check for enable role download is on or not. Similarly for collections, check for enable collection download option is enabled or not. Both are enabled by default. Launch it. It will take some time. Wait for some more time. Now it's done. On CentOS, it got executed successfully. On Ubuntu host 1, no changes are made. It got failed on Ubuntu host 2. We can confirm the installation on CentOS host. Now Java is available on this host. On Ubuntu host 2, it failed, and the reason for this is my apt manager is not synchronized with the latest updates. So I manually run the sudo apt update on the Ubuntu host 2. Generally, we write this step in our playbooks before installing any packages on Linux systems. Again executed the job, but this time only on failed host. It ran successfully. Let's check the Java version on this host. And it is there. This is how we can use Ansible Galaxy roles in our automation task. In the similar manner, if you want to use any Ansible Galaxy collection, you need to create collections folder in your project root directory, create the requirements.yaml file and define the collections you want to use. Both Ansible Galaxy roles and collections contribute to the modular and organized structure of Ansible content, but rules are more focused on encapsulating specific functionality, whereas collections provide a higher level organization that includes roles, modules, plugins, and other content. With this, we wrap up today's video as well as this video series. In conclusion, we extend our sincere appreciation for joining us in the Automation with Ansible AWX complete course presented by TechLatest.net. TechLatest.net is committed to empowering businesses with the latest technologies. Our offerings are designed to facilitate learning and mastery, ensuring organizations remain leaders in the realm of innovations. Thank you for choosing TechLatest.net as your guide in the ever-evolving landscape of automation and Ansible AWX.